What's up, scrubs? This is yours truly, Carcino here. Whoa! Let's talk about it. Whenever y'all wake up. Alan Moss. Okay, Alan. What's up, Mr. Sledge? This is a live chat, too, by the way. Some of the people that like me talking wrestling decided to go ahead and pump in, click the link in the description box. They donated. They went to the Stream Lab. They hit up the Stream Lab. So it is working. And said, we want to know about the Vince McMahon situation. You got to tell us. He fought the guy Kevin Kelly, better known as Nails. The ex-convict Nails. Well, him and Vince McMahon got into a real fight. And everybody's heard the stories. And they want to know if I knew the truth. Well, I can tell you my truth. So here it goes. Kevin Kelly was known in the AWA as Mr. Magnificent. That's what his name was. Mr. Magnificent Kevin Kelly. He was great. They built him up as a babyface, middle card wrestler back in the day, early 80s or late 80s. And as his stick started to spaz out, he's too big, couldn't really pull off certain moves. He had some technique though, as far as selling the position of the holds. He could do a promo. He could actually cut a promo. He was trained well. But after traveling the world and doing what he was doing, it was just too many guys in his position that they were pushing instead of him. He used to be with Sensational Sherry and allegedly, got caught in the underbelly of doing activities that are counterproductive to your wrestling career. So, Sherry got a deal to where she was going to get more money for her work in WCW. So she left, and then he ended up messing around with Medusa. So Medusa was his manager. And he had a stint at that for a little while. Then AWA ended up folding. Alright, in like 91. Then after this, he moves on to the WWF. And they found the angle to bring him in. They decided what would be the best angle for this guy. As an escaped convict. And have him go up against the big boss man, the prison guard. And he's an escaped convict. Your name is gonna be Nails. The escaped convict. He's insane. He's Nails. The big boss man has wronged you. He kept you incarcerated and tortured you while you were at that facility, turning water hose on you late at night. So they played that angle, and it was great. The ratings was through the roof. People wanted to see that fight between Boss Man and Nails. And the reason they wanted to see that match so badly and why it caught so much attention is because of the fact the big boss man, and this is an actual, people actually back in this time, they really thought this guy was escaped from the prison, and Big Boss Man worked there at the prison, y'all. And he did all this stuff to this guy. They believed it. They really sucked it all in. That was a product, and the promo and the way he did his voice. Oh, Big Boss Man, you kept me locked up for all those years. I mean, the way he did his voice was great. He really sold it. So the whole thing was to have him come out, beat up a couple of jobbers, guys who put in work, and he come in with a nightstick, beat them all down. Then he was going to go and interrupt one of Big Boss Man matches. Beat Boss Man down. Nightstick, nightstick, nightstick. Beat Boss Man to the ground. And after he beat Boss Man to the ground, then they were going to have him handcuffed, and they were going to set up a big match for them to meet at the pay-per-view event. So everything going according to plans. So Boss Man was in the hospital, laid up, trying to recover from his injuries. They sold this and milked it and played it all out, and it was great. Now comes the part where things are going haywire. Okay? Leading up to this event, it was supposedly there was a conversation on bonuses and perks. Like, oh, if you guys are doing this, oh, you're going to be rewarded handsomely. Because, the ratings, oh my God, you're going to be in the mix for a long time as Nails. Oh, everyone's loving Nails. So, Vince is excited. Now, at this time, there are a lot of wrestlers who are unhappy. And the talks of union were flying around during that time. But only in secret. But, union talk was being thrown around at that time. So people were talking about they weren't getting paid and such. And so they were like, look, people are not supposed to be talking about what they're getting paid with other wrestlers, because this causes disruption. So he hears the rumbling on he's going to be taken care of. So they go ahead and do the match with the Big Boss Man. Big Boss Man wins. And what they were going to do was swing this into the Ultimate, not the Ultimate Warrior. I don't know where that even come from, Nails and Ultimate Warrior. Somebody mentioned that to me, like, what about the Ultimate Warrior? I said, who? So the whole thing broke out to a mass, ridiculous display of employee versus employer. Now, the matter of the issue is the checks were cut. And Nails got like almost $8,000 and some dollars, almost $9,000 for the match. And he was like, that's it? Like, that's all he was getting? What happened to his big payoff? So he's really pissed off. And he just made, and Vince is like, look, you made this much, that much, and this much. I was paying you through all those jobbers you were getting fairly good pay. He was like, yeah, I expect that pay for those matches. But for the pay-per-view, I should have gotten way more. The boss man got $25,000. That's what somebody had told him. Boss man got paid like 25 grand. And he was like, you sold that whole event. You should have gotten way more than boss man, or at least you should have gotten 15. So he's pissed. So he goes in the back and he's talking with his homeboy, who's also another going off the juice guy, Berserker. Noid. You know, he was the guy, the Bruiser Brody impersonator, who came in with the Viking shield and everything. The Berserker. He said Mr. Fuji is his manager. Rest in peace, Bruiser Brody. Yeah, his name's John Nord. So, yes, this is my memory. I'm going right off the dome. So anyway, he tells Nord, he's like, after talking with him, he's going through one of his road rage moments. He's in the back telling people, if Vince don't give him his money, he's going to kick Vince's you know what. Other wrestlers are laughing because everybody says that, but nobody actually is going to do it. You're not going to touch Vince in this business. You can want to do it, but you know you better not. So he really meant it. Now, Vince McMahon is a big guy. You know, he's like 260, solid, weightlifting, juice guy himself. So they go back. He said, well, let's get back out of here. And Berserker, they talked. And he told the Berserker, look, I'm going to go in the office. You watch the door. Don't let anybody come up in here. Okay? He was like, all right. Yeah. Go get the money. So he's going in to demand Vince cuts him a check on the spot. So they go in there and have a conversation. Vince is in the office by himself. He's, yeah, can I help you? He tells him he wants more money. Look, I told you already we're not going to have this conversation again. You're going to be fighting The Undertaker, and you're going to get rewarded. Now, we're going to swing this thing, and when we already built it up, we got it on the cover of the magazine, you're going to get paid. He was like, I want a check now. He was still in character as Nails. He really forgot that he was Nails. You're like the big boss man. I want my money. So Vince don't back down from nobody. Vince jumps up and gets up out the chair. A lot of people think he knocked Vince out of the chair. No, Vince stood up and started talking to him face to face and got about as red as he could be. You're threatening me? Get the F out of my office. And that's how Vince talks, you know, just like the wrestler character. So he was that guy before it even started. So Vince is red. He tries to throw him out, gets in his face, get the F out of my office. And then Nails choked him and put him in the corner of the office. And they get to pushing each other. The chair falls. Nails shoves him back in the corner. And now the Berserker is scared. Because he didn't expect this to go this way. He's, oh, wait a minute. He don't know if he should run and jump and get involved. And he's telling him, hey, watch the door. He's in there choking Vince, fighting with Vince. And Vince is being choked and they're knocking stuff over in the office and they were yelling and screaming. Hacksaw Jim Duggan is coming down the hallway on the right side. He coming down the runway, and here comes Bret Hart. And I think Anvil was there. Mean Gene Oakland is running back there to see what's going on because they hear the screaming. There's some other people from the office that work there. The little security guys coming there. Vince is on the ground. The Berserker. It was like a tag team match at first. Hacksaw Jim Duggan and Bret Hart versus the Berserker. Oof, 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 oof. So the Berserker in there, they going and pushing him out the way. And Vince is on the ground at this time. He's got Vince on the ground, choking Vince now. Vince's face was like blue, purple, and Vince was passing out. That's to show you how strong Nails was. Kevin Kelly. To show you how strong he was at that time. Vince is a very strong man. The actual guy, Kevin Kelly, used to be an actual bounty hunter. He used to be a bounty hunter. He's tough. So, he was actually, it took like, Hacksaw's got one of his arms is trying to break it off of Vince's neck. And he was having trouble. And Hacksaw Jim Duggan is pulling on one arm. Bret Hart's pulling on the other arm, trying to break him off. Security comes in and they overpowered him, breaks him up. It's like 4 wrestlers holding him down. Vince gets up, the cops come in, security comes in, and they get him under control, and he's trying to get up out of there. He's telling the cop, he sexually assaulted me. Yeah, he's trying to kiss me and make out with me and all this stuff. And they were like, what? Vince is like, I want that son of a bitch in handcuffs. So they end up handcuffing him. He tried to say Vince sexually wanted him and made sexual advances, which was all a lie. They got to the bottom of that. It came down about money. Vince word versus him. He was cuffed. And they were like, you too, the Berserker. They both was in on it. And so, you know, the Berserker is cuffed, thrown off the property. Their wrestling career was done. Done. So now, he decided at this point, after putting his hands, I mean, he had fingerprints around his throat, Vince did, from the attack. This changed everything with Vince. Vince McMahon, from that day on, has never met with a wrestler in his office by himself. Won't do it. Vince has never done it. He will not meet one-on-one with a wrestler in his office no more. He's hired Strongbow, Pat Patterson, all these guys. Somebody gonna be in that office. Their job is to protect Vince from this ever happening again. So now, there is an investigation going on within WWE and Vince McMahon. There's a lawsuit that's starting to come around about steroids and saying how Vince was supplying steroids and all this stuff. So there's a building investigation going on. and about steroids in professional wrestling. And should wrestlers be able to take steroids and not have to go through the rigorous steroid policies that professional sports go through? So this was going on, and during a trial, one of their star witnesses was nailed. Kevin Kelly. Now, the reason why this happened, because he went to WCW almost immediately after the incident, he was fired. WCW was like, good, we can steal their thunder. Let's bring in him. We're going to call him the prisoner. They had him fighting Sting. They had the prisoner. Oh my God, it's the prisoner. Oh man, he's been on a tear lately. The prisoner. He got on the same orange jumpsuit. He's in there with a nice stick doing the same thing, man. WWE sent a legal character, whatever, stealing. Man, they were finna get hit with so many lawsuits. WWE was gonna take them to court for everything. And at that time, they barely had anything. They're like, we ain't finna fight, Vince. We gotta let him go. So he wasn't allowed to go over there and eat. But how the hell they think that was gonna ride with Vince? That was not gonna ride. Vince will follow that man to the end of this planet. You ain't gonna put your hands on Vince and then me on another network. So he went through the underground circuit. That was the only way he could go, the Chitlin circuit, and make some money that way. He was never gonna be back on a major platform. So when the trial came up, he was their star witness. They was like the star witness in the case against Vince McMahon. And the star witness was this guy who said Vince gave him steroids and everything else. And then he was discredited immediately. He was like, this is a man who, did he tell you he attacked Vince McMahon over money? And you think this is the star witness? This man said Vince McMahon sexually attacked him in the office, and he had to defend himself. This is your star witness. Then he got on the stand. He couldn't even. It took him less than 5 minutes to blow up the spot. He was discredited immediately when he got up there and said, I hate Vince McMahon. It was like, it took them less than 5. He was on the stand less than 30 seconds before they start witness. Oh. Oh, I can't even stand up. Oh God, this is just too funny. It's like a WWE script, but this is real. The man took the stand. The man took the stand. They was like, you come off as a man that really hates Vince McMahon. I hate Vince McMahon. I really hate Vince McMahon. The prosecution is like, oh Jesus Christ. They was like, well, Your Honor, this guy here has a personal vendetta against Vince McMahon. I don't know how he could be a credible witness. Oh my God, my back hurt. Man. You talk about something, he couldn't even hide his disdain. The court case. I'm quite sure they prepped him. It was like, all right, this is our star witness. You're going to help us take down Vince McMahon. He was like, yeah. He went back to the Nails character quick. I hate Vince McMahon. He gave me run. Oh man. Oh man. The people in this world, man. Something else. Something else, I tell you. Well, the problem is the internet. The internet ruined professional wrestling. People want stuff fast and in a hurry. You don't have any time to really develop anything or follow a storyline because it changes so quick. Everybody wants it so quick. They don't have time to develop or follow a story. They keep doing the same thing rehashed. And when you keep doing that, people get stagnated. They start moving to other things. So the people who were watching pro wrestling, they saying, well, we can get pro wrestling just by watching the UFC. That's basically the same thing. So now Vince McMahon is using all the WWE tactics and cross. That's why he's cross branding with Vince wrestlers. How many of you guys want to get beat up for free? We can sell some tickets. You know, Dana White is just a circus tent guy. You don't know anything about the actual sport. He's just a fan of it. Leave it to him to go and screw it all up. No, Jake was never going to be the champion. They were never going to make him WWE champ. They were going to let him fight for the belt against Hogan. Until that happened, you're right. He DDT'd Hogan and they never showed it again. There's a lot of things people didn't know. Hogan and his wife, Linda, they were swingers. Hogan used to push people to sleep with his wife. And be like, hey, you know, you can go and sample the goods. You know, if Hogan was cool with you enough, he'll let you sleep with his wife. Allegedly. Well, we all know the real. If anybody knew Hogan, and you knew why Macho Man was upset about the situation at that point, but how unstable Macho Man was over Elizabeth. He was trying to protect her from all the craziness in the wrestling business that he knew fully about. Well, she went somewhere. I know she left AWA because AWA was running out of money. So I know she went to the WCW after that. Before she, her drug usage and getting drunk and messed up. Sherry was a party girl. If Elizabeth tried to sleep with Hogan, it would have went down. But he would have been scared to do that. See, what they are is swinger couples. Hogan would give you Linda, if Linda wanted to do it. And in return, Hogan would expect you to let him get a chance at your wife and be okay with it. Like wife swapping. They were into that. So normally the wife will try to, because she's all into it too, would try to lube up and prep the girl into it, the wife. Let them have girls' night out, do all kind of goofiness to get her used to the idea. Hogan tried to do this with the Ultimate Warrior, and the Warriors turned it down. Other wrestlers did not. So Hogan's wife, Linda, allegedly slept with a number of wrestlers. It's a whole lot of wrestling secrets don't nobody know about. Lots of them, buddy. So, you want to hear them, you hit that Cash App up. You better get that Cash App up. Or donate in the Streamlab in the description box. That's the only way you hearing those. Those are those are paid per click. No, I didn't seen Jalen Rose diss Magic, but he ain't in no position to diss Magic. They were gonna have Papa Shango and the Ultimate Warrior. They were using that angle when the Ultimate Warrior got fired, and they came back, and Papa Shango and Ultimate Warrior was supposed to have a big thing that was gonna go on forever. Then they were gonna have the Undertaker and Papa Shango and work that angle. But what happened was people, drug usage and everything else kept messing up the storyline. Jake the Snake and the Undertaker were partners, so they was gonna go up against the Ultimate Warrior and Macho Man. They were the Ultimate Maniacs. And Ultimate Warrior got fired again. So, hey, it was just what it is, man. I used to like Papa Shango. But the thing is that Papa Shango became a character that they didn't want to use in the afternoons, and just like with Val Venis, Val Venis was pushing the envelope. And at that time, like today, Val Venis could probably work. Then again, nah. So network television would only put him on the nighttime programs. So when it's just past like a certain time limit, your rating can go. They give you more leeway when children should be in bed. So in the afternoon programs, they couldn't show any highlights or promotion of Val Venis. Yeah, it was a big thing. That's what ended up ending the character. The character was great. Val Venis, that's probably the only character I think Vince Russo was a part of that that was great and helping create the Val Venis situation. My favorite wrestler was Randy the Macho Man Savage. That was my favorite wrestler. When Macho Man came in the game, before then it was the Von Erichs. I used to like Kerry Von Erich, Ric Flair, Hot Stuff Eddie Gilbert. The Nature Boy Buddy Lindell. Oh yeah. Tony Atlas, Black Superman. I had a bunch of them, man. If I rocked with you, I rocked with you. Hands of Stone, Ronnie Garvin, Michael P.S. Hayes, the Fabulous Freebirds, Bam Bam Gordy with the Oriental Spike. All of it, man. I go back. I am wrestling. Everybody know. I am wrestling. My uncle and I, we both we live, eat, sleep, breathe wrestling. Yes, Rick Rude beat up a lot of people backstage, and not just Austin Warren. It's scared Hogan. Hogan wouldn't get back in the ring with him because if you messed up a move, Rick Rude would go in the back and beat the living crap out of you. Like he had a temper. If you messed up with Rude, that was it. Yep. Stan Hansen and Brody. Now everybody's doing things for the trend. You know, it's all about social media and access into the wrestlers' live. And wrestling is a hard business as it is. This is a very hard, tough business to do. Imagine every night after getting your body thrown around, you gotta sleep in a doggone bus and get driven to another town and get on a plane. Sometimes you gotta get on a plane and fly to another town. But from then, you get once you land in that town, you hit like every small city during your show, and then it's back on the bus. Then you're back on a plane. You don't even see your damn house. You're on the road more than you ever at home. And any little thing go wrong. Any little thing go wrong. You could be injured permanently. So anyway, that was the truth between that situation. If you want to support the page and make suggestions, please click the link in the description box, and you can hit up the Streamlab where it says donate. Hit that, leave me a message in there. That way you can leave bigger messages and longer messages. And you guys didn't even hit the like button. Do I gotta tell you guys what to do all the time when you come here? I'm like, what is going on here? How could you be here this long and not hit the like button? That's just nuts. Shame on you. Oh, y'all know my Cash App name is Carcino. If you got the Cash App, you already know I'm on it. Oh man, we used to wrestle. You know, when you kids, you wrestled all the time. But did I ever think I was gonna be a professional wrestler? No. I just knew I knew how to wrestle enough to save my life. Still to this day, like the jiu-jitsu wrestling, all the moves that the great Kabuki used to use, Muda and Kabuki, those are my guys, man. I learned all them Japanese holds. D'Lo Brown, baby. You wouldn't do it because he's white. Mike Powell, I don't sleep. You know that. Of course I've been up all night. That's my afternoon. It's almost my bedtime. So probably at lunch, your lunch, I'll be asleep. So by the time you get off work, I'm back up again. You like, what? Did he go to sleep? I'm Mr. 24/7.